With this, the story is not over. I want to see why the parking brake is not working on it. So when it's left here, it was fine, and now it's not. So let's check it out. So we're going to take the wheel off, and then we're going to look inside what's happening in there. This car has a disc brake, but it also has a drum brake part. So the parking brake part is this miniature drum brake. So it's actually a disc and a drum at the same time. So first we're gonna have to remove the caliper. There are two large bolts in the back. One's there, and then the idea is not to hang it on the brake line. So I'm gonna have some piece of wire, what I'm gonna hang it up on this stabilizer arm, and it's gonna hang on that instead of on the brake hose. And now we can take this drum off, or rotor off. So now you can see that this is all burnt. So parts are missing from it. So that means my friends actually drove it with the parking brake on. So yeah, that sucks. So I'm gonna have to put some new shoes on. I happen to have one in stock, so I can just change it. I could say it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. It's just freaking hard. First thing I'm doing, I'm gonna move this adjuster closer, so the two shoes will have less tension on the springs. Next, I'm gonna get this one out, so it will get less tension on the springs even more. So now I got this little spring out on the top, and now there are two more springs in here, what's holding the shoes in position. And to get those out, I'm using Mercedes Source's brilliant tool, which made just for that. So check him out, it's an awesome place. So you find a bolt hole, a lug nut bolt, and then go through with this tool. You move it, and theoretically you can get it out. This is what it looks like. That's what you're trying to take out. So you got to push it in and twist it until it comes right out. Well, it comes right out. It's yeah, it doesn't like to come right out. But now we can take the shoes off. Well, I got them off. You can see the damage on here. So it's a little sad. I kind of pulled it apart the wrong way, so this spring is gone, but there's another one in the new kit. You can see I'm gonna have to clean this up a little bit, like it was clean before I let my friends use it. And you can see these parts here where the shoes actually moving a little bit when they move. So those has to be greased up just a little, so there'll be something to slide on. I got these discs and drums back from Napa. They couldn't do anything with the inner part, but it doesn't matter. It's parking brake, I guess. And it was really wobbly. They said they had to go through twice on one of these because I guess it was way overheated. So it's most likely it was smoking and stuff when they were driving it with a parking brake set. So I'm gonna replace one of the springs, what I screwed up, and then let's start putting it back together. Before we start putting it together, I gotta put a little bit of grease patches here where the brake pads are sliding. I'm using this grease that I made for brake calipers and basically stuff like this. And you don't need to put too much on it, just a little bit, and then it should be fine. This flat areas, that's where this thing goes in. And then here's the little wedge, which will get into here. Well, everything back to normal. This I was able to do this by hand, so everything is lining up very nicely. So now we just need to install these shoe holder springs, and then we are in good shape. It wasn't easy, but I found it finally. It's actually there. Just going to do the other one, and then we're done. Now that everything is on, I'm moving the adjustment on it. And then what we really need to do is to adjust it to up to a point where we can hear that disc or drum wheel barely touching. And then we're going to have to press on the parking brake a few times. Then it will realign itself, and then and hopefully we'll see at that point how much more we need to adjust on it. But all that has to be done before we put the wheels on, and the other side has to be finished as well. Now before I put the caliper on, I want to do the other side just the same way as this one. And then I want to step on the parking brake pedal and see how it works, how far it goes down, and will this actually hold anything or not. So I'm going to go the other side and do the same thing. It's a major problem I noticed while I was cleaning this side. The rear bearing is a little bit off. So yeah, that's not good. So I changed this not all that long ago, and I had a hard time with it. There is a crush ring in the middle, and that only can be tightened once. But since it's loose, I'm thinking I'm gonna be able to tighten on it. So first we're gonna need to remove the rear axle. And in order to do that, we got to take this bolt out, and hopefully I can slide it out enough to get to the bearing. Oh, yes. This is good news so far. That means I don't have to take apart the guts of it. So anyhow, I just need to put this away from our way, and then we can check the bearing. It's not the prettiest. I need to open this up a little, and then I have a special wrench what I can put on here, and I can twist it or turn it. So on the outside, I put two lug bolts back. Here is the long screwdriver, which will prevent it from turning. And then I have the proper wrench here for the rear wheel nut. You gotta hit it in, make sure it's there, otherwise it's not gonna be good. Well, it didn't budge at all, so I'm gonna try to open it up, see if I can actually unscrew it. I've tried everything, it didn't budge. Finally, I just put that Makita on it, and now it's coming out. Now we're gonna take the seal out. Most likely I'm gonna ruin it, but I have another one. I'm gonna have to find something to put it in the middle and try to tap it out. So far so good. I was keep hitting it, and it's coming out on the other side with this. It's a 22 millimeter. install the wire here, make sure that piece when it comes off, it wouldn't fly away. Most likely when they left the parking brake on, it's kind of burnt everything up, and then it's kind of the grease came out from under the bearings, the roller bearings. So you can see that it's all where the original grease used to be. It's green, and then when it's burnt at the end, it's black. So yeah, now I gotta change bearings in it too. Last time when I fixed it, I had a bunch of parts collected for the 107, so I guess I'm gonna burn some of these parts now. I even have an unused nut here, what you can actually secure it by bending this end of it. I collected some brand new original parts. These are the bearings for the what I need to change now. These are the crush rings inside. Those are 2 original crush rings, and this goes inside the seal. Some seals, also some original seals. These are really hard to come by. Some are not even available anymore. And of course, this is the wheel bearing grease. That's a green one, and that's available from Pelican Parts. Now I'm gonna have to remove the races and then install the new ones in. Well, I got the races out of it. This is how it looks like. There's a really tiny part what sticks out, and you can actually start hitting it and it will come out. I used a punch, just like this one, with a real big hammer. So here are my 2 new bearings. This one, they all came out from a original Mercedes box. This one was from Brazil, and the other one was made in Hungary. So I hope it's gonna work. That's where I'm from. So yeah, let's put this in. This thing doesn't need to be greased up yet, so I'm just gonna clean up the surface and I'm gonna hit it in. So you gotta hit it a little bit around here, there, here, there, here, there, and then it will end up hitting the bottom of it, and then it's done. This one is still not done. I got to hit it a little bit more because there is a little gap here, so I'll make sure that it goes all the way in. At the very end, it's actually when you finish hitting the bottom, you're gonna feel it's gonna have a different sound to it, so make sure you hit it in all the way in. Now both races are on. Now here's the outer seal. It's a new outer seal. I put a little bit of sealant on it to make sure it wouldn't leak. This is a unique situation where the bearings actually slide through this, and then the seal will seal on the actual hub assembly. So I was able to put this one on first. On the other side, at the other hand, I have to put in the bearing first and then finish it off with the seal. I fill this inner part up with grease. It smells great. I just promise I'm not gonna lick it, but it's nice. I have one of these kits I got, and we're gonna use it to pull a bearing in. So in order to pull this bearing in properly, I'm going to put one of these on, the end cap, And then we're going to assemble it and use this to pull it all together. And now we can take it and install it on the car. Ding, 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 ding. All right. And now I'm gonna use this because last time one of these flew away, so I don't want it to happen. Now we can put the crush ring on, the other bearing on, and the seal on, and then we can start pulling it down again. Well, here's the idea. We got two bearings here. These bearings can be tightened or loosened. It will have a crush ring in between. So this crush ring will go here, and it will hit that shaft inside. And then here's the other bearing which will go around. So the thing is, when you start tightening it, you will start crushing this ring, or actually you're gonna make it smaller and smaller and smaller. If you went too far, then your whole shaft gonna be too tight, and you're gonna feel it's going like this, and it's not good. It will burn up. So at that point of time, you need to remove everything, take this out, replace it with a new one, because it's been already crushed or squeezed enough, and then you will have to put a new one and try it again. So when you're setting this up, you only can go one way with the nut. And talking of the nut, here's a new nut. So only can go one way with the nut. And if you reach the end point where it needs to be, then you must not move it backwards, because then you screwed up the crush ring. It's not going to work anymore. So I have a new nut. I have a new spacer here, which will go inside the seal. And I guess we're all ready to go. I just need to install this one on it. First, we're going to put this crush ring on. You can have a bearing packer device, what you can do, or you can use your hand if you want to make sure that it's all over the place and it's packed in and squeezed in fine. So now we're going to put that on. If I wouldn't have roped it up, now it would have fall out. You need two persons, one to hold from the other side, the other one here. So I'm going to have to go to the other side, use both hands, and then try to wedge it in. I had to put one of these clamps on because I just don't have enough hands. And I had to put this one here, and I was hitting the middle of the bearing, just tapping it just barely to find its position. And now I'm going to put the nuts on. I'm going to put a little bit more grease in it. I'm going to put the nut on, and then the seal on, and then we're in good shape. Actually, probably first the seal. Here's the seal. I found a pipe which I'm going to use to drive it in. The pipe is just a little bit smaller than the seal itself. These original Mercedes seals are for the differential, the rear differential, where the drive shaft or the CV joint coming out of it. This is not for this application we're working on right now. But here is the number if you like to buy it. That's the rear wheel hub seal, what I have in my hand. Well, it looks fine now, so let's just put the nut on and the inner seal race, or I don't know what it's called. Now it's just about tight, but not gonna do it more. So now we're gonna have to get the tool out and we're gonna have to measure how far we should tighten it. I got one of these measuring devices. I found a fixed point where the brakes are actually connected to the brake caliper. And then here's this wonderful little device. And then it actually measures how much it moves. So you can see it's like more than a half a millimeter what it moves. So I can even hear it, so it's still moving a lot because I barely just started tightening it. So we're gonna tighten it a little bit more and see what happens. Then here's the zero, we can zero it down and you can see 0.46 millimeter. Yeah, let's try it again after I turn this wrench a little bit on the other side. Now I moved it just a little, see what it does now. 0.42, still not much. I tightened some on it. Now I can zero it, and you can see it's like 0.39. Yeah, it still needs some. You can see I'm using a bar reinforced by a hydraulic jack handle, and I just move it just a little bit, then one click back and just a little more, and then I recheck it. So it's about time to recheck it, see what happened. I'm trying to zero it without moving it. And now we're gonna try to move it, and it's barely moving. So that's good, we got to do just a little more. All right, now let's check it again. Well, it's moved just a tiny teensy bit. And that's it. So that should do it. I hit the tabs in, make sure the nut will not come off. I can put the drive shaft or CV axle back in, and then I can put together the parking brake section as well. Now I'm gonna step on the parking brake. It's actually a pedal on the left side. Unlike on other cars in the middle, it's actually on the left side here, and then it's a pedal. Only click twice. That's pretty promising. And then we're gonna see if this one moves. Nope. Nope, pretty solid. So with this knob, we can let it go. I think we're in good shape. I can install the brake calipers, wheels, and this thing can get out of here. Originally, this was the securing plate that was used for the bolts, for the caliper bolts, but I also read in manuals that you can use modern Loctite, so that's what I'm gonna do. Now you can see the caliper, there's two pistons in it, one here, one there. When you step on the brake, the two pistons expand and then squeezes the brake pads. The brake pad has a part which will you use up hopefully, and that the actual rotor will go through there. Now when they're asking you, do you want a lifetime warranty or you want some really super duper brake pads, but really they're asking, if I translate it, that do you want this to disappear or wore out, or do you want your disc to wore out? There's no free lunch, so either your metal will wore out or your brake pads, the wore part will wore out. So I usually buy the cheaper ones, what actually will wore out here and not here, because for this car this is a lot more expensive than the brake pads. One more thing, if you put the caliper bolts back in, I recommend not to use any kind of power tools, because I did broke a 10.9 Comox bolt in one of the front calipers before, and it was not a fun time to get it out. So instead of that, I would recommend just use a long bar and pull it down to the appropriate torque what your shop manual tells you to. Okay, that was the lawyer talk. And you might be thinking, what's going to happen with the right side with the bearings? I ran out of the Mercedes grease, so I got to order more from Pelican Parts. So I'm going to do that another time, and I'm going to have more time than right now. Before I take it outside and wash it, there's one more thing I want to work on. Is the rear brake light bulb. I assume it's full of grime from the diesel smoke. So we're going to take these two knobs, unscrew it, the connector off, and we can get to it very easily. As it turns out, the outside coming off, and I can see the light bulbs I put in. So this is the one what's broken or not working. Yeah, it just needs a little cleaning, no biggie. Since it was out of the car, I just washed it. It looks a lot better now. Now we can get out with it and let's give it a bath. Well, this is all I got for you today. I still got to install a gas pedal, which broke throughout the journey. So it's one bolt and got to move it through the gas pedal iron, and basically that's it. And then I still need to grease up the other side on the rear bearing, the rear bearing, because I don't know what condition that is. But generally the car is good, so now it's good to use again. So I'm really happy about it. So if you have any comments, I'm really happy if you guys write me something. If you guys write me something, tell me where you're watching from. And see you guys in 2 weeks with something else. Bye.